Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all. Clean Slate 16.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcast should have a theme song. Podcast should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
I don't know why we're just do that. Just all consonant or all vowels the whole show.
Hey.
Oh, hey. Ah.
Sometimes Y.
And also W?
Is
Was
W?
Did you have that in yours? Sometimes Y and W?
No.
When I was a kid, they were like, yeah, A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Y and W.
Sorry, you got the books that were misprints.
I think it was referring to the double U in the word vacuum. That's the only thing I can think of.
That's always that's just two vowels next to each other.
Yeah. That's a W. But we're not here to talk about the W.
Thank goodness.
We're here to talk about several other things.
These are all topics. Almost all of them were submitted by Reddit. That's not true. 3 of them were.
Wow.
2 of them I don't even know.
We're off to a great start.
Well,
it's Clean Slate 16. Sweet 16. This is the Molly Ringwald of Clean Slates. I love Clean Slates. They always make me happy.
I'm so excited that Clean Slate can drive now.
Yeah, I know. Finally. We don't have to keep, taking Clean Slate to soccer practice every afternoon.
Now I do that thing where I send Clean Slate out, like, they think that they're going to drive for fun, but I'm sending them to do stuff for me, like fill the car up or get it washed.
Yeah. You know what's really fun now that you're responsible enough to drive the car? I think you're responsible enough to fill it up with gas and responsible enough to use your own money to do it.
Show me what a big clean slate you are.
That's right.
All grown up.
Let's dig into this clean slate, Hal.
These are all binaries.
Okay.
I'm going to jump around.
I was very excited to do. I love me some best episodes, but I really love me some this or that.
Yeah. So here's a bunch of this or that. First from Gwen Smith on Reddit.
One of the 3.
That's right.
That encompasses all of them, apparently.
It's a third. It's fine. It's a lot. Lady Gaga. Or Katy Perry. This is a binary.
It's a binary.
And again, this is not to say that neither of these people is worthy of their own topic, but
right.
I feel like this is a quick one.
Lady Gaga.
It's 100% Lady Gaga, but I also Katy
Perry's great.
Has some great anthems.
She has great anthems.
She has Roar. She has fight songs.
That video she did with
last Friday night
with the girl playing piano.
Which one's that?
There was she had a girl that came up on stage and did firework with her who was on the spectrum, but she was a great piano player and singer, and she went up and played with Katy Perry at a big concert. It was great.
Oh, very
like
neat.
Katy Perry has a huge heart.
Yes,
she does wonderful work.
Both of them are.
On American Idol. She's always so fun with the contestants. She seems to genuinely just be a good person who loves making pop music.
Yes. Super talented. Just like she's put out tons and tons of hits. I say Roar and Fight Song just because I think they're her big anthems. Yeah. But they are far.
Last Friday Night is a problematic song.
It is, but it's her song.
It's her song, but it's also like, oh man, this is a problematic night you have had.
This is a problem. It was a problem. And then in it's a great video for that. She makes great videos.
Yeah.
Really, really, really fun videos.
California Girl's really fun. It's just bubblegum.
Yeah. She's like great at bubblegum pop, but also very talented as an artist. And also like some of the songs are bangers. Mm-hmm. Some of the songs are really great anthems that make you feel empowered no matter where you are.
Yeah. Her anthems
no matter what your gender identity may be.
Wonderful.
But also like really speaks to empowering women. Mm-hmm. Like I know Jennifer loves like Roar. She would listen to Roar and repeat. Like she loved it. Lady Gaga though, there's just like another gear with her where she does have, she has the club bangers. She has stuff like Edge of Glory, which is great as like a club song, but also the unplugged version with just her and a keyboard is great. She's an Oscar winner.
Yeah. Lady Gaga to me, I think you put it perfectly she is everything that Katy Perry is that's wonderful with an extra layer of fascinating artistry.
Yes.
Like her crazy button is awesome. Where she's like, yeah, I'm an artist. I'm supposed to make waves. I'll do this. And then she does some crazy thing, but she always backs everything up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I think the best version of this I saw was she hosted or was either the musical guest or the host or both on Saturday Night Live once. Mm-hmm. And, she does this big, crazy, like, dress like a robot number you're like, yeah, that's vintage Lady Gaga doing some crazy cool stuff. And then they wheeled out a piano. She moved her insane contraption of a costume out of the way and just sat and played piano and crushed a song. Like, Katy Perry's wonderful. Lady Gaga is, in my mind, a perfect example of a popular artist.
And I may be wrong, but I think that Lady Gaga as a songwriter kind of runs circles around Katy Perry. I know Katy Perry does write music, and I don't mean to belittle what she has written, but in my mind, and maybe this is part of the reason why Lady Gaga would win, just the perception of how profound of a songwriter she is. Before she was even writing for herself, she was a hit factory for other people. Taylor Swift also the same way, not in this discussion, but someone who
great songwriter
who excelled. Like, that was her whole thing, was like, how long I am a singer is less important to me than I want to work as a songwriter. So when you approach it from that standpoint, your success has a depth to it.
Yeah, you go from being a strictly interpretive artist to a creative artist.
Also, hasn't Weird Al only done a Lady Gaga song and not a Katy Perry song?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he did Dress This Way or Perform This Way. That's right. His Born This Way was Perform This Way. And there was like a whole story of he asked for permission because he never does songs without permission. And he was told no. So he thought Lady Gaga didn't want his song made. So he released a demo on YouTube that's like, here's what it would have sounded like. I won't put it on the album because there's no permission. She somehow got in front of her and she contacted him and was like, no, my people said that. I'm fine with you doing it. Please go ahead.
Great.
So
also, Weird Al, come on.
Weird Al.
If someone says no, they'll be like, okay, I'll just put it on YouTube. You're like,
I know.
Al, everybody goes to YouTube.
He must have been happy about it. He didn't do that with anything he was going to do for Prince, but YouTube didn't exist at that point.
Yeah.
So it's Lady Gaga.
Objectively, from two 40-year-old straight white dudes in Marina Del Rey, objectively, Lady Gaga beats Katy Perry.
If somebody didn't want us to answer this, that should never have been asked. Sorry. Let's go next to Heidi Arias, somebody who I know has had topics on the show before, who asks a simple one: corn chips versus potato chips. Now, a corn chip, before you just go potato chips, clearly.
Not potato chips, corn chips, clearly.
Corn chips make Doritos. Corn chips make, obviously, corn chips like Fritos. Tortilla chips. What else? What other chips are made with corn?
The Frito pie that you make,
the Frito pie.
The Frito pie. That's a chip,
thing
right?
You put chili into?
Yeah.
That would probably work with most chips, right?
Yeah. I feel like you can't really cook with potato chips the way you can with corn chips because they're too thin. About the only thing you can do aside from eating potato chips is put them on a sandwich. Now, potato chips on a sandwich is delicious.
Yeah, they sog out, but they're very good.
Yeah, but corn chips, super versatile.
I'll do that with Doritos too. Give me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Mm-hmm. If I hadn't ordered food for later when I'm going to watch a basketball game, I would totally make a giant peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I would go and get Doritos and have it on the side, yes, but then at the end you like dip it into the crumbs that are left and you eat that. You're doing real well.
A Dorito peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Yeah. Try it.
No thanks.
Okay.
That combo doesn't seem appealing to me.
Sure, close your mind off.
I mean,
be that way.
Shut up. Every time we go out to eat, you order the same tan food.
So wouldn't I know what I'm talking about?
Everything you eat is tan when we go out to eat.
Yes, I'd like.
Call me culinarially non-adventurous.
I'd like a 1975 raincoat and a briefcase, please. Medium.
Hey, can I get a grilled cheese sandwich, extra tan, and some brown rice, but not fully brown, just tan rice, and maybe some mashed potatoes. What color's the gravy? Is it tan? Okay, great. I'll get the mashed potatoes and gravy and the mac and cheese. But could you like scorch the top a little bit so it gets, tan?
Yeah, I'd like just a swath of the situation's arm skin and some discontinued M&Ms. Thank you.
Oh no, that's right. They discontinued the tan ones.
They were so great.
Rest in peace, the situation, or rest in prison currently.
Yeah, exactly. That is right. Yeah, R.I.P. Rest in prison.
Yeah, R.I.P. Rest in prison.
Rehabilitated.
I'm sure you're a lovely
prison.
man. I'm sure you're a lovely man that's getting rehabilitated in prison.
That's
right
what
now.
R.I.P. is. Rehabilitated in prison.
Rehabilitate in prison.
Of course.
Think of that.
It's corn chips.
It's corn chips.
They're so good.
I mean, do we need to give, I don't want to give short shrift to the potato chip. The Ruffle is delicious.
Yeah, Ruffles are good.
But regular potato chips to me are just, there's just not enough there.
I like the Lay's, like a good classic Lay's, a rigid potato chip.
Classic Lay's, classic barbecue. The homemade potato chips that you can get at like a store. I guess at work we used to have these great, at Disneyland backstage, they had these great, Universal, they had these great potato chips that they would make in-house. Like homemade, kettle-made potato chips are fantastic. Like when it's just a sliced potato into a thing, but out of a bag.
Yeah.
They don't hold up as well, I think.
To me, the homemade ones are, a lot of times they're undercooked. So you're kind of like it's like a chewy experience. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that.
Like having potato jerky?
Yeah. I don't want potato jerky.
Yeah.
I want like a crunchy chip, but I do like some flavors. I'm not I like a cheddar cheese.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, the like garbage flavor powder on any chip is my favorite.
Even healthier, like the Harvest Cheddar Sun Chip.
Hold on a second.
Those are corn chips.
Corn chips.
They're corn chips.
Hey, they're corn chips.
They're corn chips over there in their bag.
I want to ask this, Hal.
Go ahead. I'll allow it.
What makes them healthier? Is it just
they're like,
because they tell you it's healthier on the bag?
Yeah, it's just like a multi-grain chip, but I feel like it's mostly corn.
Those things are so like.
They're healthier. They're not healthy.
That's like the difference between saying, oh my gosh, you got a 39 on this test. Mm-hmm. Like, no, I got a 40 on this test.
You know what? You should take every percentage point you can get.
I guess.
You should say, I am a D- student. I'm not an F student. I think at that point you're an F.
Right. Oh, at 40? Yeah, you're 25 points below an F at that point.
Did they have F plus? Because I feel like at that point you're
F plus.
Gilding the turd. Is that a term?
Gilding the turd. It is now.
It's like a
GTT, yo.
Like a needle in a.
Oh my God.
Haystack?
We were just talking about this. There is an ad. I don't know if ZipRecruiter is on Max Fun at all. I don't want to make fun of them if they are.
They're not sponsoring us. So
they're not sponsoring us. Let's make fun of them.
Yeah.
The single greatest acting choice I have ever heard, was on a commercial for ZipRecruiter. And the guy on the commercial says, finding a qualified employee for my business is like finding a needle in a haystack. And I thought, did you just make the acting choice of I invented this idiom? Like, that blew my mind. I was like, that is the greatest acting choice I have ever heard anyone make. I got so excited.
What do you think that choice is? I'm the dumbest person who ever lived?
Yeah, I think the choice is, I am so good at language. People are going to use this. Like, I'm going to say this thing in this radio commercial and it's going to become a thing. Needle in a haystack. Anyway, what were we talking about?
We were deciding it was corn chips, asked and answered.
Yeah, it's corn chips.
All right, moving on. Why Dub 38? This person has showed up before.
Why Dub 38?
Yeah.
Why not Dub 38?
That's exactly how we feel. They want to know Trader Joe's or Aldi.
Okay. Trader Joe's being the Southern California chain of, and now national.
No, they're national. They're everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. National chain. I think of them as Southern California because they were born here.
They do not carry generic brands. Everything is branded to them.
Right.
It is.
Or they don't carry like major brands.
Well, if you go to get ketchup, it's like Trader Joe's ketchup. It's not Heinz or Hunt's or Del Monte or anything.
But it's all good stuff. It's marketed well. Their stores are cool and like they pay their employees well. Yes. They're clean. They're hip. They're like, they kind of are always on the cutting edge of what food is doing. Not the cutting edge, but like they're the H&M. If the great chefs are the fashion world, they're the H&M giving you the like cool recreations of new things. Like it's where I was introduced to riced cauliflower was at coming out of Trader Joe's. Aldi, I don't know why this is a comparison. Aldi is the like, the discount Chicago grocery store chain?
Right.
Or is that Aldo? That's Aldi, right?
No, Aldi's is out here too.
But But it's like the sign, like the blue and yellow with the sort of like angular A. I just remember in Chicago, that was where we would go to get cheap groceries and like day old bread.
Right. Yeah.
So I guess the question is, do you want hip groceries or do you want affordable groceries?
But here's the thing. Trader Joe's is affordable. You don't get the sense there that everything fell off the truck from another supermarket.
Right. Which is kind of the...
In Syracuse, we had Wegmans, which was the fancy grocery, which is now sort of spread into more areas. But then there was Price Chopper. Mm-hmm. And at Price Chopper, that's where I went shopping. That's where all the college students went when they had no money because everything was way cheaper.
That was what Aldi was our place where we would go for, which, you know what? It's not like that's a reasonable comparison. Like,
yeah,
you get good quality food, and it's cheaper.
I bought a week's worth of food at Trader Joe's for like $40.
Mm-hmm.
I love their frozen stuff. Here's the thing is it more important to find the name brands that you like? Mm-hmm. And this is from someone who's generally not brand agnostic. Like, I like what I like.
Mm-hmm.
Or, is it better to be able to get what feels like higher quality food at a very reasonable price, which is more, like Trader Joe's, you're not going to get the brand you're looking for.
Right.
At Aldi's, there's just something about it where it feels like, did this expire? It almost feels like,
yeah,
you can go grocery shopping at a 99-cent store and you can get food that will not poison you at all, but it's not like you're shopping at a 99-cent store. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not for better or for worse. You know what you're getting. I think Trader Joe's offers really good prices on stuff, like bananas for 19 cents a piece.
Yeah.
When Trader Joe's opened in this neighborhood, both Jennifer and I and Mark Evan Jackson and his wife Beth, we were all very excited to have a Trader Joe's in our neighborhood. This is a personal thing because I don't go to Aldi a lot.
Right. I love Trader Joe's. I like that the flowers are cheap, that I can get a week's worth of groceries and on the way out be like, you know what, let me get a bouquet of flowers for like $8. Make my kitchen smell nice. You
or
know
a bottle of wine, a bottle of Charles Shaw Merlot for $2.
$2 chuck.
$2 chuck, exactly.
One thing that Aldi does really well, I'm looking at their website right now, is they are really leaning into, it looks like from what I'm seeing, it looks like they're leaning into vegan, gluten-free, organic, all of that. Like that's the thing that they're digging into, at least overtly on their website.
Right.
I don't know what percentage of their business it is, but I know Trader Joe's leans into that though too. They have their fearless flyer every week.
Fearless flyer, just got a free bag from them.
Yeah, man.
It's Trader Joe's.
It's Trader Joe's.
It's not even a question.
Yeah.
Asked and answered. Good question though.
Yeah.
That was closer than anybody thought it would be.
Yeah.
All right, let's get completely out of stories and get into cars.
Ooh.
Andrew Rollison asks, Ford or GM?
Ford or GM? Well, okay.
They're both old.
They're both classic like American brands.
American brands.
Henry Ford invented the assembly line.
Yeah.
The Model T came on strong, only available in black, which I think was funny.
Right.
Did he say they could have it in any color, any color they want as long as it's black? Chevrolet, designed to be a competitor to,
which has the Volt.
GM is, Chevy and, what else is under the GM banner? Chevrolet, by the way, being, I think it was a Frenchman that came over and was a car designer.
GMC, Oldsmobile.
And was just about defeating Ford. Feels like the way that, Nike began, where Nike started and it was just about, like, their mission statement was, we're going to defeat Adidas.
Right.
It seems like that's, GM to Ford. Now, are we talking about the history of the company and like, because I feel if we're going history of the company, Ford has it all the way. Like they invented the muscle car. Henry Ford, invented the assembly line. Though Henry Ford, if I'm not mistaken, was a bit of a problematic dude.
Yes. The people, you can't go by the people.
Yeah.
You can't go Ransom Eli Olds or
by the way, if we could go dopest name for an old timey car maker, Ransom Eli Olds is probably the guy that wins,
it's
right?
Pretty good. Here are the American brands that encompass currently General Motors, car brands. Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac.
Okay. I mean, Cadillac, people say when people are talking about anything, this table right here, oh, this is a wonderful vehicle. It's the Cadillac of tables.
This is true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For quality, there's a lot. GM is doing a lot more. I feel like Ford is more historical, but they only make they've discontinued most of their vehicels. At least they're consumer cars. I know they're also
there's
huge.
Like the Fusion, but then it's a lot of trucks. Like
that's the thing. The F-150 is the car that is the truck that built America or is currently building America.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
And, you've got the Corvette, the Camaro, some cool cars over on that side. You've got the Mustang on, which I've heard referred to recently as the precision student driver car.
Yeah. I mean, look, here's what Ford has just for sedans. Mm-hmm. There's just the Fiesta, Fusion, Mustang, and Taurus.
That's it.
That is it.
That's their cars.
That is it. Then you get SUV and crossovers. You get a little bit more there. You've got the EcoSport, the Escape, the Edge, the Flex, the Explorer, and the Expedition.
Those are all their SUVs?
Yeah. The only hybrids they have are the Fusion. The Fusion comes in a hybrid and Energy. I think the Energy might be a full electric. Mm-hmm. But, their performance vehicles are like the Fiesta and then the Shelby Mustang. I feel like
right now, Ford's cars are not as good as Chevy's cars because Chevy's just making a ton more of them.
I think it's General Motors. I think it's General Motors right now. They encompass more brands.
I mean, Ford has the history. I mean, the invention of the assembly line is such a huge piece of American history, but the question is what, Ford or GM?
Yeah, what would you buy right now?
Is that the question? Or you're asking me what would I buy right now?
It just says Ford or GM, but I'm making that the question.
That's not the question. The question is just simply Ford or GM. That's an aspect of the question.
Well, Ford was a Nazi sympathizer, so GM.
Oh, that was the problematic. I knew that there was something that Henry Ford was like, oh yeah, he was not a good guy.
Pretty sure.
It was being a Nazi sympathizer.
Let me make sure before I cast aspersions. Henry Ford. This is not going to be bad to search.
What, Henry Ford controversy? Is there a lot of it?
Yeah, he was anti-Semitic.
Oh, yeah. There's a billion websites that talk about his anti-Semitic. You can find a lot of information on it. I
just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, we don't want to disparage a person. So it's GM. Sorry, Henry Ford. Yeah. Thanks for inventing the assembly line and being the rough and tumble fella you were. But
and go screw for a lot of your other views.
Yeah.
Go screw.
Take off, eh? Go join Charlie Lindbergh. Go over to Nazi Germany.
How about you rust in peace?
Ooh.
All right. Coming up next.
Maybe he could rehabilitate in prison.
That's right. Maybe so.
But yeah, I think with the cars right now, Ford's history notwithstanding, the problematic history of Henry Ford and the sheer number of great cars that GM's making. GM's the winner.
GM's the winner.
Asked and answered. Objectively speaking.
Snake973 over on Reddit.
Snake973? That's not a name. That's a tattoo. That's a tattoo with an area code.
973 represent. Snake wants to know gloves or mittens?
Gloves.
Why?
Because mittens, you can't use your fingers.
You can pretend they're boxing gloves.
We get boxing gloves.
Do you think
boxing gloves are mittens, but they're called gloves because gloves win.
Here's the big question. Can you make better snowballs with mittens or gloves?
Gloves.
Really? The mittens, like the fact that they're rounded doesn't make it better?
Man, articulated fingers and opposable thumbs are what make humans human.
All right, asked and answered.
You're just giving us hooves.
Sometimes there's an easy one. I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to gut check you on that. All right.
Was I right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
John J. Galbo asks, Ready Whip or Cool Whip?
Oh, man. See, this, I feel like there is a correct answer, and then I feel like there is my answer, and they're not the same.
Interesting.
My answer is Cool Whip just because I love Cool Whip.
I do too.
Can I tell you a recipe that we loved growing up?
Please.
Called Watergate salad. Did we talk about this on the show before? Quite possibly.
It's audio tape.
Yeah, it's audio tape and shame mixed in with a little impeachment.
Great.
No, it's a Watergate salad. You take it's so bad for you and so good. You get Jell-O pistachio pudding powder and a tub of Cool Whip. Mm-hmm. And you mix them together until you have green pistachio flavored Cool Whip. And then you pour in pineapple and chopped pineapple and marshmallows and maybe pecans. Mm-hmm. It's like ambrosia salad.
Sure.
Kind of like ambrosia.
Yeah.
But with a pistachio Cool Whip base instead of a whatever garbage mayonnaise base or whatever is in
sour cream.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It is one of my all-time favorite treats. I love it. And it's the reason I love Cool Whip. That said, I think Ready Whip is the superior product.
Yeah, Cool Whip.
Because it's real whipped cream. The aerosol thing makes it always look pretty. You can shoot it in your mouth straight from the fridge. That's the thing.
Also, when you get whipped cream in a restaurant,
mm-hmm.
if it tastes like Ready Whip, you're excited.
Mm-hmm.
If it tasted like Cool Whip, you'd be like, can you send this back and put whipped cream on it?
Oh, see, I would be excited because I love the taste of Cool Whip, but I would be like, this is clearly Cool Whip.
Also, when you get Cool Whip, what do you do with it once you've had some of it? Assuming there's any left.
Eat the rest of it.
You put it in the freezer.
Yeah. It's spaced out. It's freezer based.
Then you have to thaw it every time you want to eat it, as opposed to I put it in the fridge and just go
right into your mouth.
Yeah, right into my damn mouth. I don't even. There's like a.
I've never seen your face say anything with more intense seriousness. Right in my damn mouth.
Right in my damn mouth. There is a like My 800-Pound Life or something where
mm-hmm.
a woman is putting aerosol like Ready Whip on
mm-hmm.
something, and then you see her go like she shrugs and then just starts spraying it in her mouth. And I
guess I have to. I mean, look, I don't know her compulsion.
I looked at it. She's like, well, nobody's watching. And when I do it,
television is watching.
I don't shrug. I just nod as it's going in and go.
I high five myself overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ready Whip.
But it's Ready Whip.
Ah, man. Yeah. As much as I love Cool Whip, I think objectively Ready Whip is the superior.
Okay. 2 more.
Okay.
This is from Robert Monroe via email.
Okay.
Who asks, electric
This is
razor.
fast. Do we need to add some? I feel like we're now giving short shrift to people doing a shorter episode.
Sometimes the episodes are long, sometimes they're shorter.
Look, sometimes it's gloves or mittens and you know immediately that it's gloves.
Exactly.
Specifically, Dickensian fingerless gloves.
Wait, hold on. Not the Freaky Freezies?
What are the Freaky Freezies?
Freakies? Where you,
oh, that's the mitten with the glove.
No, it's a glove.
A glove with a mitten over the top?
No, it's a glove where the back, when it gets cold, a design appears.
What?
I have a pair. I'll show them to you after this.
Okay.
Because they did a Kickstarter. They brought them back and they made them for adults. And I got a pair. Because of course I did.
Because of course you did.
Maybe the pair I had as a kid with fighter jets on them. But anyway. Yeah, electric razor versus like a safety razor or like a razor blade.
Oh, okay. This
doesn't have to be a straight razor.
That was a hell of a transition, Hal.
Yes.
This one, so electric razor versus straight razor, or we're just picking
versus a blade, like an electric razor.
Electric razor versus using a blade.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I think there's a lot of cool electric razor technology out there.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly to trim longer hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. And then when you have the shave, you have the ones that have like a little bit of lotion in them.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a weird thing to shaving your face while it's dry.
Yeah.
With it, which is sort of what it's meant to do.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like the Norelco where it's got like the 3 little wheels on it, you know, like that like 80s razor that feels like the razor you use when you're driving. Like that's I'm on my way to work. I did not get a chance to properly shave. I have never had an electric razor work on my face.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's because my beard is thicker or if it's because my face is just anti-electricity. I don't know.
You have an anti-electricity face.
Yeah, exactly. But for me, it feels there's something like, maybe I just don't trust an electric razor. I've tried it. I get razor burn. It's not as close. It feels like I'm asking technology to do something that was perfected by technology already.
Right. You're solving a problem that maybe doesn't need to be solved.
Right. I can use a razor at home in roughly the same amount of time and more effectively.
Although isn't the electric razor supposed to solve the razor, like people who get razor bumps, some people get them from that shaving experience?
Yeah. I guess I'm just the opposite. I get it from an electric razor.
I've had a bunch of electric shavers over time. I have a longer beard now, so I can't really use one.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, what I like about it is when you use it and it sounds like a popcorn machine because it's kind of because it's getting like you feel like, oh, I'm getting all the hair, and then you feel and you're not really getting it when you take your time. Like there's something enjoyable to the experience of you get some warm water on your face, you put the shaving cream or gel on, and then you like methodically shave.
Yeah. It's a zen sort of and you get the good aromatherapy and like it's I feel like an electric razor is coffee in a cardboard cup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I just got to get this done. I like It's a requirement. Now, they, at work, they would, when I would shave and they would sort of check my homework on my face and like if there were spots that needed, they would pull out an electric razor and give it a little like, you know, like that was part of doing makeup. But, yeah, for me, it's the proper like regular razor shave. I use a Tom's now. I used to use a Gillette forever. It doesn't really matter to me. Like, as long as it's sharp, you gotta have a good sharp one.
Sure.
Now this is not the same as the trimmer because I have a trimmer as well.
Right.
You have a trimmer for your beard.
Trimmer is different. Yeah.
You haven't used in a while.
I have not used it in a while. No, I used it recently on my mustache because the hairs were getting in my mouth. I don't have that. I generally, when I go to get my haircut, they also do my beard.
And we are talking about shaving your face. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Cause look, there are things that a trimmer is better for that I would never want an actual razor getting near.
You know, when you have something removed, I had like a mole removed near certain areas of my body and they used something there that was like, it almost looked like a toy version of a razor, right? Like it's plastic.
Oof.
But then they use it, you don't feel anything in it and it clears an area very quickly. Like tummy hair even.
Like my dad after a big meal. He can clear an area very quickly.
You clear it very quickly. and it gets in your mouth. No, just like even the belly hair area, like it just goes like that and it's clean. And I saw it. I was like, why don't they have that for the face?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I trust this crazy. It's not just a little blue disposable razor?
No, it wasn't.
What is this magical weird?
Then you'd put a cream on. You wouldn't use that dry.
Yeah.
Like there's no cream put on it. It was just like, whoosh, and then done. I don't know. I don't know why it works.
I don't know, man.
It's amazing.
If there's anything going in sensitive areas, I need to know the full technology.
So you would rather have a razor?
I very much prefer even like when I go to get my hair cut, you know, they hit you with the clippers on the back to do your neckline.
Yeah.
But also I really like the places where they lather up, get that straight razor and like, you know.
Of course.
They get there's something cool and old timey and like, there used to be a store. I don't know if they're still around, The Art of Shave or The Art of Shaving. Do you know the store?
No, it's not around anymore. I don't think it is around, but yes, I do know what you're talking about.
But it was like, that sort of to me was like, okay, this is sort of like my version of a spa day.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you get the good stuff, you get that badger hair, brush yeah, there's something very, what word am I looking for? Spa-like, I guess.
Yeah.
Relaxing about a good real shave.
Yes. Exactly. So it is an actual razor blade.
Yeah. I think it's the actual razor blade.
Asked and answered.
For your face.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break.
Okay. And then we have one left.
We have one last topic because we forgot to take a break earlier. So sometimes these quicker, episodes, it sneaks up on you, but you should stick around because there's one more topic left to discuss.
And we're going to fight on this one.
It's going to be a fight. Get ready.
Hi, I'm Janet Varney, and like many of you, brand new sentient robots excluded, I used to be a teenager. In fact, just about all of my friends were, too, including folks like comedian Danielle Radford.
And of course, all of us, you take on that theater accent, and our teacher would say, no, that isn't how people talk.
Right.
Don't do the super theater kid accent. It's the worst. But so when I was doing theater in high school, of course, I immediately was talking about being in the theater.
So join me every week on the JV Club podcast, where I speak with my favorite women artists, innovators, and humans as we reminisce about the past and how it led us to becoming who we are. Find it every Thursday on Maximum Fun.
What are you laughing at, James?
I'm laughing at you.
What?
And me too.
Huh?
Our podcast, Minority Corner, silly.
Oh, the one where we talk about topics that cover the queer community, race, feminism, and good old pop culture?
Yep, that's it. Oh, girl, we are so funny. I was just thinking about something we did.
Wait. Mm-hmm. Are you listening to me or...
Me.
Both.
Minority Corner.
Every Friday.
Okay. One more topic. From Alexander. Alex,
Is it the one that I was joking about us doing earlier? Are we actually doing it?
We're actually doing it. Alex Jameson. I don't know if it's Alexander, Alexandria, or just something in between. It's fine.
Alex.
via email asked, Philly cheesesteak versus Chicago Italian beef.
Well, look.
2 signature sandwiches of different cities, both delicious.
Mm-hmm. I am partial to the Chicago Italian beef sandwich.
Sure you are.
I imagine you are partial to the sandwich that you made us now have done 2 episodes fully just about that sandwich.
True. Yes. That's right.
Yeah, it's clearly the Chicago Italian beef. Asked and answered.
That's not true. Back that up.
Oh, no. The drinking game of the show is really kicking into high gear now. Say Philadelphia a bunch and people are going to have to do shots.
Philadelphia. Here is here's how I think of it.
Okay.
They both are dressed up a ton.
Mm-hmm.
So you put onions, peppers on a cheesesteak, like mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
You can load it up with marinara sauce and make a pizza steak out of it. The Italian beef sandwich, you can dip it. You put the jardiniere on there.
I think there are fewer variations on a Chicago Italian beef.
Though that's strike one on them.
No, it's that's not a strike. The simplicity of the sandwich is the beauty of it.
Well, here, if you took a very simple no jardiniere, if you just had the basics of the sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Philly case, it's bread, meat, and cheese.
Yeah.
And in the
I'll give you the
Chicago
Chicago case. I'll use a pretty standardized version of it, which is the Portillo's.
Yeah, sure. I had one recently.
Yeah, it's a Italian beef. It's beef inside a roll with a strip of sweet bell pepper.
Right. Imagine you took that off and just did with the gravy.
Right.
Which would you prefer?
Well, I mean, because the bell pepper is standard.
Right.
You would ask to not have it on there.
Okay.
But they can do hot or sweet. There's 2 different kinds. Very Chicago, like your choices are. There's the meat on the roll and either hot or sweet peppers and maybe jardiniere.
I think it is a fine sandwich. I like it very much. I don't think it's as good as a cheesesteak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think it's as good as a Primanti Brothers sandwich, which
the
I
one
don't
with
think
the fries,
exactly
the
same.
Pittsburgh sandwich
it's
with
like
the fries on it.
Coleslaw, fries. It's like got a ton of stuff in it. It's like an incredible
I disagree.
Sandwich.
I do like to get mine modified because the Chicago sandwich can be wet. Is the thing.
I like it wet.
I don't like it terribly wet. I like to get it dry with the sauce on the side so I can dip it like a French dip.
So basically, you want a French dip sandwich.
Yeah.
What that is a French dip sandwich
with Italian spices.
With Italian spices on it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel. I feel like there are other Chicago foodstuffs that are more iconic.
I think that's true. And I'm just busting your chops because it really is the Philly. I think the Philly is also in the way it's made, because the way that Chicago beef is made, I don't know how the meat is, because I've worked at places where we do it. Mm-hmm. And we, instead of, it's not like the chopped, like the brick of meat that goes, it doesn't have the pageantry of a Philly cheesesteak sandwich where they throw the brick down on the grill and then they chop it up and it's like, and you can smell it in there and it's like, it's a very specific thing. The Italian beef, is almost, braised.
Yes.
The way they do it, because, you just take, it's sliced roast beef and you have this big vat of, the juice, this, Italian beef juice that is delicious.
It's great.
And then you put a little basket and you put the beef in the basket. You drop the basket in almost like you're putting fries in a deep fryer, and that, heats it up and soaks in there. But it's delicious, but it's not the same visceral fire plus meat plus bread. The Cheese Whiz, I'm going to say though, the Cheese Whiz
it's too much for a lot of people.
It is a strike against the Philly cheesesteak.
But the fact is, I don't know if I think maybe half of people do the Whiz. A lot of people do provolone.
Right. Provolone I prefer the provolone.
Yeah, mozzarella. Some people do. Like you can.
I do like it with Whiz.
You can do any cheese.
Did I say that right?
You do Whiz Wit. You like the onions?
Whiz Wit or Whiz?
You always say the cheese, and then the wit or without refers to whether you want onions.
Okay, so I like my Philly cheesesteak. I do like provolone, but you know what? The Cheese Whiz is garbage. That said, I do go Whiz without.
Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah.
It's definitely a junkie. I used to do provolone as a kid. I don't even think my parents, they were like, please don't get Cheese Whiz. Like, you don't need that.
Yeah.
Thus starting my lifelong issues with food. I'm working through it in therapy. It's fine.
Look, I know you're 3, but this is what food shaming is.
Yeah, exactly. You sure you need to have that? You don't want your butt to look big when you're 4.
Oh my God.
Nobody said that to me. Nobody said that to me.
Yeah, it's going to look big anyway. I'm in a diaper. You're not in a diaper at 4 though, right?
Going to Portillo's recently, I went to the one in Buena Park. I was really excited to go there. I was taking Jennifer there. She hasn't been to Chicago before. I would love to take her there to sort of experience it. And I love Chicago. I think it's a great city. And I love that sandwich, but I forgot you went up and ordered it and then you sat and waited for it to be delivered to you. And I don't mind the wait.
Well, Portillo's is a little like that's just going off of one restaurant. Right. I know that in Philly, it's like you are just in that line in the machine, and if you order wrong, you have to start over at the beginning of the line.
Well, it depends on the place you go. The place I go, Jim's, you're watching the sandwich put together. It's not like that everywhere. I just
feel like I need to defend Portillo's or defend the sandwich. That's a Portillo's thing that it takes forever.
Right? Yeah. There's no. It's not even the waiting. It's like I like seeing it put together. Like I like that assembly line. I want to see it.
You want to see 10, and that's Jim's is nuts.
Yeah.
Jim's takes like 10 people on the grill.
Yeah.
And
no, it's one guy assembling sandwiches.
But there's a bunch of people back there.
There's a whole line of people because you have one person who makes your sandwich, then passes it off to somebody else who gets your drink order, and then you pay somebody like
an assembly line invented by Henry Ford. No. The best car. Oh. The best anti-Semitic car is a Philly cheesesteak. I think that's what our takeaway is for this episode.
Terrible. This got away from me. It's the other good thing about the cheesesteak is that it doesn't need if you don't eat red meat, you can get it as chicken is an alternative, is a very acceptable and in use alternative.
Well, in the Italian,
is there an Italian?
Yeah, the Italian, the version is that you just, you're getting beef juices, I guess, because it all goes in the same vat mostly. Right. But it's just like, we'll do it with turkey, and you'll just dunk the turkey in the jus instead of.
Well, that's good
because it's all just sliced meat. But I do think the fact that a Philly cheesesteak is cooked to order, as opposed to heated up in this jus to order. I think that puts the Philly cheesesteak, that gives it the edge.
I think so too. I also like that it is a saltier, like if I'm going to have, they're both garbage sandwiches, right? In that
we begin this whole thing with, it is just, none of these sandwiches are good for you.
Yeah. They were cheap. Working class sandwiches. It wasn't made to be done. It wasn't made with the best ingredients on earth. That's kind of the point of it. So I want it to be like salty and taste that way.
Yeah.
And this is only Portillo's. I'm sure it's different in other places. I was amazed at how there was like almost a blandness to it, but I didn't get the pepper on. Like I don't want.
Yeah. See, I like putting the peppers on top. That was my mistake.
Yeah.
You got if hot or sweet. You want the complete sandwich.
Right. That's it. But is it the Philly? Would you like to declare this one?
Not really.
All right. I'll do it.
But no, there was something else I was going to say about this sandwich, but it just escaped my brain.
You should have them both.
Yeah, they're both very good. They're tasty. They're not good for you.
No, of course not. But in the Los Angeles area, you could go to Portillo's, and then you could go to a place in Burbank. You can go to South Street.
South Street's good.
Or Philly's Best. Philly's Best.
Yeah.
There's the
Philly's Best is gone. The one on my block.
Oh, Philly's Best is gone.
Philly's Best closed.
I'm thinking of then South Street might be the one I'm thinking of.
The one over on Victory.
Yeah. And then there's a great food truck called the South Philly Experience, which I think is still around. It's more around my neighborhood, like West Side. But great. It's like a bunch of guys from Jersey who started a food truck, and they make really good, probably the best Philly cheesesteak in the city.
Ah, where do they get the bread?
It's Amoroso. They have it flown in.
That's the thing that the Philly cheesesteaks people freak out about is the bread.
Is it like that with Chicago as well? It has to be a very specific manufacturer of roll, and people are kind of split because they can't.
No, you know what you need? You need a crusty bread. It's not about the specific roll.
It can't fall apart.
You need crusty bread because that sandwich gets wet.
Right.
Before we issue judgment on this, and I ask you this with love. Does Philly take credit for the Chicago lean with the sandwiches?
We call it the Philly lean.
Oh, I knew it.
I'm sure every place, and I don't know which sandwich came first. I really don't. I don't know which.
That's so funny.
But you
guys came up with it first in the same way you came up with that football play first.
Also the same way we came up with America first.
Yeah. Please don't say America first.
Oh, sorry. But yeah,
trigger phrase.
I'm sure every place that has a sandwich like that,
they do the Chicago lean.
They do the lean. Whatever they do the.
Hal, you're getting the sandwich. Let me have the lean. It's called the Chicago lean, and it's where there are no seats. There are maybe a couple of tables, but there's an area of the restaurant where there is no seating. It's just a rail, and you stand. And because the sandwich is so wet, you, especially if you get it dipped, which is where people will get the entire sandwich, bread and all, dunked in the jus.
Right.
And you just spread your legs wide so you don't get it on your shoes, and you lean forward and you eat that sandwich as fast as you can on your lunch break before it drips everywhere. And then you go back to work. Chicago lean.
We'll go TBD on the lean.
Hey. Then we'll go TBD on the sandwich.
Oh, stop it. Don't be a baby. That's not what we're discussing here. We'll do that on another clean slate.
All right.
We can do a little research.
All right. It's the Philly cheesesteak. Asked and answered.
Philly cheesesteak. Asked and answered. That is
Chicago lean.
Another we have Chicago leaned over.
Thank you.
All of these topics because we learned to do it in Philly and solve them all. There is no topic too small is the lesson here today. Or no too large topic that we won't make small to fit it into about 40 minutes worth of podcasting.
Oh, yeah.
These topics are all closed, but I hope you've learned that there is no topic too small for us to debate or no topic too large that we will not make small so that it will fit into about 45 minutes.
That's right. So please reach out to us with more topics at We Got This tweets on Twitter, or check out the Maximum Fun subreddit, or
you can email us at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com, or go to our Facebook group. Start a thread. I know we've done it in the past. Let's do it again. That's facebook.com/groups/WeGotThisPodcast. Thank you to producer Ken Plume, researcher Kate McManus, graphic designer Uri Kilman, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
And thanks, of course, to our musicians Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman for our score and theme song, respectively. And thanks to you, our listeners, as always, for giving us an excuse to sit down and talk about sandwiches and Henry Ford.
Oh, there were cheesesteaks being made on television. You just missed it.
Oh, man. Were they doing the Chicago lean? For Hal Loveland, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Loveland. And don't worry, everybody.
We got this.
We got this.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Audience supported.